Hello there. Welcome to Maxroll. My name is Lee, otherwise known as Facefoot, and today I would like to give you a tour of the newest resource available to the Diablo community, maxroll.gg. I'd like to go over just some of the guides and tools that you can find available on this site, as well as just talk a little bit about us and what you can expect in the future. So quickly getting into the About Us, just a little overview. Maxroll is essentially a collaboration of content creators, developers, artists, a team that's been working together for quite some time now to put together what we like to think is a comprehensive resource for the community. When looking at the team, right at the top, we have Alex, Mr. Neosid. He's been wrangling us throughout this entire thing, calling a lot of the shots and just, leading a lot of what we have here. Below, a lot of content creators that will be familiar names and faces to a lot of people within the community have been working on guides and just trying to put everything together, in the best, most efficient way possible, whether it's peer reviewing each other and just making sure that the material that we're putting out is as quality as possible. Fortunate enough, Maxroll has been able to partner with Riv, the owner of D3 Planner, who has also been working diligently with developers and helping us to create what we have here today to present to everybody, as well as Yarp and other artists who have been helping us to get assets as well as things to use on the site and to make it look as good as possible. So let's go ahead and dive into a little bit more of what you can find on the site as far as with the menus and some of the features of the site, and just give you a little bit of an introduction so that you can better navigate it on your own. So starting off with the homepage, the top will be updates, any new guides, new posts, any things like, Danctuary podcasts, anything that you might need to hear about will be announced here at the top of the homepage. There is a live player here. You'll see live Twitch streams from the content creators as well as YouTube videos from them if there is nobody online. This can be managed by the user. If you choose to pause or mute this player at any point, it will remember that decision as you navigate the site and when you come back at another time. Other than that, the homepage is pretty much just going to be the newest posts in order, some hot topic buttons on the right, and just kind of a general, first look at the site. Coming up top, the first tab is the Guides tab. This is a rather big one. In this tab, you will find guides for essentially every build that you would want to play in Diablo. Even some less desirable builds can be found on here. To use this, you can simply click on a class. You can filter by multiple classes. You can filter by the activity that you want to do, or perhaps your party size. And depending on the selections you make, you will end up with builds getting narrowed down to play these certain roles. Like I wanted to do speed, bounties on a monk or a wizard, and this is going to give you a list of guides that you can then take a look at. So let's just grab one of these just to show you a little bit about a guide and some of the features you'll see on them. Right at the top, it's going to give you some information as to what you're playing, what you can do with it, maybe where it's a little bit more viable. Like if this was a bad hardcore build, it might not be as mentioned right here, and as well as which tier it will come into, which we'll get into tier lists here in a moment. But going through the guides, you'll notice that, every little link is an embed that'll give you information from D3 Planner or from the Diablo website itself. The Diablo 3 planners are embedded into these guides as well, and by simply clicking on one, it will pull up the whole D3 Planner into another window, which is also embedded on our site, which we'll also get to in a minute. So as you can see through the guides, it's trying to be very comprehensive and having everything in one place for the user. Nothing's worse than having to go and pull up, a ton of different tabs if you don't want to. You can have everything right here. All the D3 planners are right here as well. So scrolling through, open up item stat priorities. You can see exactly what you need, what you should prioritize on those items, where the item should be, if it should be cubed. Coming down, you can just see it really just goes into everything you could want to know as far as which items are needed and why. Clicking on such links will also open up other tabs if you need to learn exactly where it comes from. This is going to go over the exact bounty, what you can find in it, and how to obtain it. So really everything should be in these guides that you could need to know really anything about putting it together as well as playing it. So you can see the gems, little explanations of each, the skills. Again, everything is embedded, everything links. It's just nice to be able to see everything right here instead of, having to wonder, what does this do? And then having to go over, and pull up a different window. So you can move through some of these accordions as you go through these guides to see what all is to offer. I don't want to make this video too long, so we'll just kind of move through just to kind of show, there's an entire gameplay section that kind of explains how to play the build that you're looking at. Then another interesting part is this variance. Again, D3 Planner is embedded, explaining everything that we are talking about in these guides, and it'll go over different things. If you want to be solo pushing, do this. If you want to be doing Nephilim Rifts, farming keys, this is how you're going to do it. If it's bounties, we can switch it up even a little bit more to be optimized. Speed grader rifts, everything can have little changes. And if you watch the D3 Planner, you can see little things change, but those little important changes can be very important depending on what you are doing in the game. So we hope that people enjoy these guides. A lot of work went into them. Usually one content creator will write a guide, another one will review it, if not multiple. A lot of these guides are collaborations with, one person doing maybe the bulk of the work, but I think that a lot of people are going to enjoy these and find a lot of information in these that, maybe they've never read before, never seen before, or perhaps, to other players, it'll be something where, they pick a certain part of the guide that they really want. Maybe it's they really wanted to learn a mechanic of this, they hope it's here, or they just want to get to the D3 Planner and call it good. Either way, it should have everything that people could want to use there. And so next, let's go ahead and take a look at the tier list tab. Here you will find tier lists that go over many different aspects of the game. Solo tier list, key tier list, solo experience, bounties, rift trash killer, just depending on what you're going to be doing for the group. Let's say you're going to be doing a Rift Trash Killer role in a group. So you can come to this tier list and find out what do we think is the best. And, a lot of thought and discussions went into creating these tier lists. So we'd like to think that they are pretty accurate, representing what would be the optimal builds to play and perhaps suboptimal. And other tier lists, which we'll just jump to another one real quick right now. You can see they go quite a bit further down. Most people are familiar with how tier lists work. You usually order it S, A, B, C, F, best to worst. So builds that you find up at the top of the tier list are going to be great to play for whatever you are searching. Solo tier list, this is going to be able to push pretty high up into greater rifts. Whereas the lower you go down here, it is going to end up quite a bit behind some of these stronger builds. And then right here, when you find the build you want to play, Hello Dehydra, you can click it and it'll take you straight to a build guide that you can find. Another tab we can go over is the meta tab. This is going to go over what are the most efficient ways to play, depending on if you are in a 2, 3, 4 player group or if you are trying to farm for experience. We can open this one up here real quick just to take a look, and it'll go through the number one, rat runs. If we click this, it'll jump right to it. It's going to tell you a little bit about the runs. It's going to show you right here what all the team needs, the Z-Neck, the Z-Barb, and both of the Rat Necros. And then if you'd like to get into a more in-depth guide, the option is here, and these other guides can be found, of course, as well on the site. So here is just kind of a one-stop shop where, if you kind of have a good idea of how these builds work, you can just jump straight into the meta tab, figure out what is going to be the most efficient, and what exactly that group is going to need. And this tab can be a very good way to get kind of as much information as you need all in one place. So the next tab, the biggest one up here, the resources tab, will actually drop down when you hover over it and open up a whole world of possibilities. Over on the left, we have mechanics. These are going to be more deep dives into game mechanics, so you can really learn, the intricacies of Diablo. Over here is just an overview of all the classes' passives. Down below, some monster-related mechanics and things that you can learn there. Different activities, the conquest, how to do greater rifts, how to do Nephilim rifts. Set dungeons is a work in progress. That's a rather large one that we're going to be releasing here pretty soon. And then this will be updated weekly for the challenge rifts as well. There's guides on item creation, seasons, how to level up 1 to 70 at the start of the season, what you should be doing for your gambling, how to complete the seasonal journey, what exactly is going on in the season. So the resources tab is a great way to just kind of find just all the information about Diablo as far as, any things that might be changing as the seasons go along. And then Last thing on the bottom right, the tools, these are some nice little tools that have been implemented. Dawn calculator, a lot of people know. We have our own Paragon calculator as well as a COE timer coming down the road. So after resources, an interesting tab we have is the ranks tab. Here you're going to find a very comprehensive global ranking system. You can select whatever classes you want to look at, whatever regions you might be interested in, or perhaps the party size. Hardcore and softcore, of course, as well. You can go back through the era, through the season. You can choose quite a few options here, and you can reset everything at the click of a button as well. By clicking regions, it'll remove them. You can see these other ones stay blue. They are highlighted. If we wanted to just look at NA, we can narrow it down to 4-player NA. If I wanted to see Demon Hunter NA, perfect. You want to add in EU, click of a button. It'll keep getting updated as you go. So this is a great little tool to see everything as well as to see across multiple regions all in one place. So the next tab, the D3 Planner tab, this is where Riv comes in. The partnership with Riv, D3 Planner has been moved over to Maxroll. It's on a new server, so things should be running smoother than ever before. It has been streamlined to just, have a little bit of a better look, to be a little bit simpler for people to use. Some other new features now, you can see there are profiles. You can move things into categories. If I want to see the season 22 planners that I've made, I can sort it by exactly, what I'm looking for there. So D3 Planners had a big upgrade. Maxroll is super excited about being partnered with Riv and, going forward, the things that we'll be able to create for the community. And again, to just have, all of the best resources and tools in one place. So to finish off here, I just want to say thank you for stopping by, for watching and listening, hearing a little bit of a tour about the site. We hope that the community is as excited about it as we are. We were very excited to finally present this today and to show everybody what we've been working on for so long. Going forward, we are very open to any feedback that people might have, any suggestions or things that you might want to say about the site, or, anything you want to let us know, please let us know, because we're trying to create the best resource that we can possibly have here. In the description below, I'll provide links to some of the platforms that you can find Maxroll on if you want to check us out on things such as Twitter, Twitch, links to the content creators' Twitches. And we just really hope to see you around on the Discord, and look forward to creating new content for seasons to come. Thank you.